Hello children, welcome to our science session. In this session, we are going to revise about our chapter microorganisms, friend and foe. And in last session, we have revised about what are microorganisms and useful microorganisms. Now, let's revise about harmful microorganisms in this session. So, what are harmful microorganisms? Microorganisms that causes diseases and that affect human being in different ways are called harmful microorganisms. And harmful microorganisms that cause diseases are called as pathogens. So here we will learn about some important definition to remember. What are communicable diseases? So microbial diseases that spread from one infected person to a healthy person through air, water, food or physical contact like cholera, chickenpox, common cold and tuberculosis are called as communicable diseases, or you can write this way: diseases that spread from one infected person to a healthy person, which are caused by microbes that spread through air, water, food or physical contact are called as communicable diseases. Example: cholera, chickenpox, common cold, tuberculosis, etc. Next, what are carriers? Carriers are insects or animals that carry disease causing microbes and transfer the disease from one person to other person or one place to other are called carriers, otherwise called as vectors, such as houseflies and mosquitoes. Houseflies and mosquitoes are carriers, otherwise called as vectors. And now we will revise about how do houseflies transfer pathogens. So housefly, first they sit on the garbage and animal excreta, and the pathogens, whatever there in that, will stick to their body. Then when they sit on uncovered food, these pathogens get transferred to the food. And when someone eats this contaminated food, what do you mean by contaminated food? The food which has pathogens in it are called as contaminated food. And when someone eats this contaminated food, he or she may fall sick. So to avoid this, we must keep the food uncovered. So in this way, housefly transfers pathogens. So housefly transfers pathogens through food only. And next, name the carriers of malaria. Here, malaria is a disease caused by the protozoan called as Plasmodium, and it is transmitted. Carriers or vector of malaria is female Anopheles mosquito. So what name the carriers or vectors that spread malaria? Will write female Anopheles mosquito. Name the microorganism that cause malaria, or name the organism that cause malaria is Plasmodium. Next, carrier of dengue, that is dengue, how it transmitted, how it spread. Female, it is spread by female Aedes mosquito, and it causes dengue is caused by the microorganism virus, flavivirus, or if you simple remember, it is caused by virus also will do. And next, now let us discuss about some common diseases and their mode of transmission. So here you can see diseases that spread through water or transmitted through water. Cholera, typhoid, polio, hepatitis A. So again, the diseases that are transmitted through water are cholera, typhoid, polio, hepatitis A. Diseases that spread through air: tuberculosis, measles, chickenpox, polio. So you can see polio, it's spread by both, it is transmitted by both through both air and water. And diseases that spread through food is cholera. So here cholera spread through water as well as by food. When contaminated water is used for cooking food, it is so through food also cholera is caused. Cholera spread. And diseases that spread through contact is chickenpox. Diseases that spread by mosquito is malaria. So children, so in this way you can write through different means how diseases are transmitted through air, water, food and food contact, and by carriers or vectors. So you classify in this way, it is easy for you to remember those diseases and particular mode of transmission. And next we will revise about how to prevent diseases that spread through air or contact. So to prevent diseases that spread through air, we have to keep the patient in a complete isolation and keep his or her personal belongings away from others. And vaccination at suitable age can prevent the onset of tuberculosis, chickenpox, polio, and measles. So this way we can prevent the spread of diseases through contact or air. And how to prevent diseases spread through water or food? To prevent the spread of diseases which spread through water or food like polio, cholera, typhoid, and hepatitis A, first vaccination is an effective method, and one should also maintain personal hygiene and good sanitary habits, and we have to drink boiled drinking water, and we should also eat properly cooked food to avoid diseases like cholera that spread through food and water. So to prevent the diseases spread through water, first one, have to take proper vaccination. We have to maintain personal hygiene and good sanitary habits, have to drink good boiled drinking water, and we have to eat properly cooked food. So these 4 points we have to keep in mind. Next, how to prevent diseases that spread through mosquitoes. So we can stop spreading diseases that spread by mosquitoes such as malaria and dengue. First step, by not allowing mosquito to breed. And how we have to stop breeding of mosquito? By keeping our surrounding clean and dry. So we have to keep our surrounding clean and dry and not let collect water anywhere, like in coolers, tires, flower paths, etc. We should not allow to get waterlogged in those places. And also we should spray insecticides and use mosquito repellents or mosquito net to protect ourselves from mosquito bite. So how can we prevent diseases that spread through mosquitoes? First, we have to keep our surrounding clean and dry by not allowing the water get logged in places like coolers, tires, flower paths, etc. We should also spray mosquito repellents or insect repellent and mosquito nets to protect ourselves from mosquito bite. And next we have grouped some diseases by which is caused by particular microorganisms. So common diseases and microorganisms cause them. For example, bacteria. So if you see bacteria, the diseases caused by bacteria are tuberculosis, cholera, typhoid. And diseases caused by virus, measles, chickenpox, polio, hepatitis A. Diseases caused by protozoa, malaria. And diseases caused by virus, again you can add this dengue. Dengue is caused by virus but spread by female Aedes mosquito. Malaria is caused by protozoa and transmitted or spread by the carrier female Anopheles mosquito. Children, so this way the same way you group the diseases which are caused by particular microorganism, then it will be easy for you to remember the microorganisms that causes particular diseases. And the same way, what are the diseases caused by microorganisms in animals? So we have learned that anthrax. is a dangerous disease that affect cattle as well as in human being, and which is caused by a bacterium called Bacillus anthracis. Again, first disease in animal is anthrax. It's a very dangerous disease caused by a bacteria called Bacillus anthracis. Then foot and mouth disease in cattle caused by virus. And that is virus name itself is foot and mouth disease virus. So two diseases, animal diseases are caused by microorganism. One is by bacteria called anthrax in cattle and as well as in human being. And one is foot and mouth diseases in cattle caused by virus. So two diseases are there in animals caused by microorganism. One is by bacteria, Bacillus anthracis caused the disease anthrax, and the other one is a foot and mouth disease caused by virus in cattle. And next, we will be revising about disease caused by microorganisms in plants. So microorganisms can cause diseases in plants also, which leads to reduction of their yield. Produce will get reduced. Some of the plants in which they microorganism cause diseases are, see, in wheat plant, rust disease, isn't it? And citrus canker is caused by bacteria and spread through air. Rust of wheat or rust disease in wheat is caused by fungus that spread through air or seeds. Yellow vein or mosaic of okra is caused by virus that spread through insects. So this way here, microorganisms, name of the disease and mode of transmission, all the three given. So the same way, if you write and keep, it will be easy for you to remember. In plant, three diseases are there. Citrus canker caused by bacteria and spread through air. Rust of wheat caused by fungus, spread through air or seeds. Yellow vein mosaic of okra is caused by virus and spread through insects. Next, we have learned about that is food preservation. Why do we need to preserve food? We need to preserve food because microorganisms that grow on food, they produce toxic substances which are poisonous to us. If we consume this spoiled food, we can become seriously ill or die. Hence, we need to preserve food from being spoiled. And then we have learnt about different methods of preserving food. First method, use of preservatives. So preservatives are used in pickles, jams, squashes to protect them from spoilage. Preservatives are like chemicals, like such as salt and edible oil that arrest the growth of microorganisms. In pickles, we add salt or acid. Acid here, vinegar or acetic acid as a preservative. And other than this, two commonly used chemical preservative are sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfite in jams, squashes, etc. Isn't it? So these are use of preservatives. Next, use of common salt. Next, second method, use of common salt. Meat and fish are covered with a dry salt to check the growth of bacteria. Check here means to arrest, to stop the growth of bacteria. Salt is used to preserve the tamarind, amla, raw mangoes, etc. So in both the way, both vegetarian and non-vegetarian food, it is common salt is used to preserve the both food items. Meat and fish are covered with dry salt to arrest the growth of bacteria, and this tamarind, amla, raw mangoes also preserved by using salt. Next, use of sugar, jams and jellies and squashes. Sugar is used as preservatives, and how it stops the growth of microorganism. First, sugar reduces the moisture content and hence it inhibits the bacteria from growing and spoil the food. growing and spoiling the food. Or you can write by your own way. Sugar reduces the moisture content and hence it stops the growth of bacteria, and thus it prevent the food from being spoiled. Then third method, use of oil and vinegar. Oil and vinegar are added to pickles, fruits, vegetables, fish and meat as preservatives. And bacteria cannot survive in the environment with oil and vinegar. And next method, common method is hot and cold treatment. Hot and cold treatment, boiling milk, boiling food items. It lasts longer as boiling, it kills many microorganisms present in it. The same way cold treatment, that is by refrigerating food, preserves. As low temperature in the refrigerator, it inhibits, it stops or it reduces the growth of microbes. So this way hot and cold treatment help us to preserve food. Next, in that pasteurization, we have learned what is pasteurization. It is a process by which milk is heated at about 70 degrees Celsius for 15 to 30 seconds and then cooled or chilled suddenly is called as pasteurization. This process prevents the growth of microbes. We can use pasteurized milk even without boiling, as it is free from harmful microbes. And pasteurization was discovered by the scientist Louis Pasteur. Next, use of sealed airtight packets. Like we have learned already, that is vacuum pack. Whatever air inside is will be removed and food items are stored in a vacuum package or in airtight packets. Like dry fruits and vegetables are nowadays sold in airtight packets, as microbes cannot survive without air. Hence food does not get spoiled in airtight packets. So these are the different methods we have learned to preserve food. Now at the last we have learned about nitrogen fixation. That is our atmosphere consists of 78% of nitrogen. Nitrogen is very important for living organism because in living organism nitrogen is found in different forms like proteins, nucleic acids, chlorophylls and vitamins. And this atmospheric nitrogen cannot be directly used by plants and animals. Atmospheric nitrogen gets fixed either by lightning or by nitrogen fixers, that is natural nitrogen fixers, or biological nitrogen fixers, that is by some microorganisms. So two-way atmospheric nitrogen is being fixed either by lightning or by microorganism, or you can call that as biological fixers. And two natural nitrogen fixing bacteria are Rhizobium bacteria and second one is cyanobacteria, or you can name them as blue-green algae. So Rhizobium bacteria and cyanobacteria, which is otherwise called as blue-green algae. So these two natural nitrogen fixing bacteria help to fix the atmospheric nitrogen. And then we have learned about nitrogen cycle. That is, as plants and animals cannot utilize atmospheric nitrogen, but nitrogen is very important for them. That is the so it is and the amount of nitrogen present in the atmosphere remains more or less constant. That is due to nitrogen cycle. So first, atmospheric nitrogen is absorbed by or bacteria which are present in the root nodules of leguminous plants. They convert atmospheric nitrogen into compounds of nitrogen and fix it in the soil. And this nitrogen compounds can be taken by plants and it get stored in them in the form of proteins, chlorophylls, vitamins, etc. And then from plants, where it enters into the animals when animal eat plants, and then this when animals and plants, after they die, or when the nitrogenous waste and after they die, they get again buried in the soil, and this some microorganisms which are present in the soil, they decompose this nitrogenous waste and dead remain part of plants and animals, and it convert into some free nitrogen in the form of gas that will again enter into the atmosphere. This is one way. And another method, some nitrogen fixing bacteria like blue-green algae, which directly it fix atmospheric nitrogen into nitrogenous compounds, and it fix it in the soil, which is utilized by plants. So two methods, some bacteria like Rhizobium, which depend on leguminous plant, and some bacteria independently, they directly present in soil like blue-green algae. They also convert atmospheric nitrogen into nitrogen compounds and fix it in the soil. And also atmospheric nitrogen is being fixed by lightning. So these are the methods, and how the nitrogen content again it enters into the atmosphere due to denitrifying bacteria, that is decomposes, which are present in the soil. They convert that nitrogenous waste and dead remains of plants and animals, and it convert that nitrogenous compounds into nitrogen, compounds of nitrogen into nitrogen gas, and that nitrogen gas enter into the atmosphere again. So this way atmospheric nitrogen content remains more or less constant. So this what we call that as nitrogen cycle. So children, this session we have revised about different harmful microorganisms, how it causes diseases in human beings, plants and animals, and how it spoil the food. So how can we prevent spoilage of food by food preservation, by different methods of food preservation. And then we have learned about nitrogen cycle, how that nitrogen content of nitrogen, constituent of nitrogen in the atmosphere remain constant, more or less constant by nitrogen cycle. Thank you.